In this video, I'm going to show you how I save time when I'm doing keyword research and also at the same time help me shortlist the most appropriate and most important keywords when I'm going through the keyword research process. Hey, what's up? Jaden here, and I'm a lead SEO at a digital agency. And in this video, I'm going to show you my keyword research process and show you how I save a lot of time when I'm filtering out keywords that are not important. And I believe this will be able to help you save a lot of time when you are doing your own keyword research process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And as usual, please leave comments down in the comment section. I really like watching all these comments that you guys leave. And also this gives me an idea of whether my content is on point for you guys. And also I just want some interaction from you. So let's get started. I'm going to go straight into my screen here. So in order to show you the example, I am going to select a random chiropractor in my local market. So as you can see here, all these are chiropractors. So let me just shortlist. Let's say this one, On-Site Health. Okay. And this will also gives you a little bit more context because I don't just want to give you an example of my agency because I want to take in something that is raw and a totally different example as compared to like a SEO agency, right? So in this case, this is the business that I'm going to use the example for. So most of the time when you are doing keyword research, you will already have like a long list of keywords. And there are a lot of ways for you to get a list of keywords or your seed keywords. And in this video, I'm not going to show you how to actually get these keywords because this video, it's about how to save time when you are already working with a large number of keywords. But if you'd like to see how you can find keywords related to your business or your brand, then let me know in the comment section down below. So an example of how to get a keywords, it's what we call a content gap, where you're essentially comparing your website against your online competitors. So I'm going to do this very quickly for this website. So in this case, this is a chiropractor and physiotherapy clinic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this site, go over to Ahrefs, which is the SEO tool that I use. And then I'm just going to paste this in, okay? So immediately this shows me all the keywords that this website already has. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the organic competitors and do make sure that you are selecting this according to your local market, right? Because if I'm looking at United States, it's not going to make any relevant sense unless the clinic that I'm working on is serving patients from the United States, right? So you want to select it according to your market, and I'm going to select competitors keywords. And this will show me all the top ranking competitors. And for this example, I'm just going to use 3 of the competitors because I want to find keywords that my competitors are ranking for, which I'm not. And so this is number 1, okay? And if you are using a tool like Ahrefs, just go over the content gap and include in the top 3 competitors that you find here, okay? And again, I'm not going to go through like a very in-depth tutorial on how to do keyword research because like I mentioned, this process here, it's basically how to save time when you already have a large number of keywords, okay? In this case, I'm going to click on show keywords and you can see there is 521 keywords that it's relevant, or at least my competitors are showing up for, which my clinic is not showing up for. And this is the initial filtering when you are doing your keyword research. So depending on which tool you are using, in this case, I'm using Ahrefs, but you can do this in SEMrush or whichever SEO tool that you are using. So during the initial filtering, what you want to do is, as you can see here, there are 521 keywords. Some of the time you will notice that there are way more keywords, like over thousands of them. And this is really good for you to trim the list down to a shorter list. And there are a few things that I usually do. The first one will be volume. So as you can see here, volume wise, what I usually like to do is I usually like to filter this down to at least 50. Okay. And you can see that the number of keywords went from 500 plus to 400 plus. Now, depending on how big your market is, so for example, if you are in a larger market, say for example in the United States, then 50 may not be what you want to filter up from. You want to change this to maybe like 200 because the number of keywords that it's more relevant to you may be a lot more, right? But in this case, because I know that Singapore is a very small market, so that's why I'm selecting 50, okay? So this is the first kind of like filter that I do. The second one that I do is in terms of number of words. So for example, in this case, you can see there are some head terms here like cycling, healthway, SSMC, like these keywords are all head terms, which I know most of the time is not going to be relevant to, let's say, a physiotherapy clinic, right? So what I can do is, again, to trim down this initial list, I'm going to go to word count over here, and I'm going to select from 2. What this is going to do is, it's only going to leave me with keywords that have minimum 2 words and above. So it's going to filter out all the main keywords that have a parent keyword, or in this case, any keyword that has only 1 word is going to be automatically filtered off. And once you do that, just hit apply, and you can see now I'm left with 399 keywords. So this is usually what I do on the initial filtering, and I'm going to do a lot more filtering when I move all this into my Google Sheet. But this first process of initial filtering is already good enough. Now, if you do find yourself having way more keywords, for example, now I only have 399. But if your keywords shows that you are having keywords of over, let's say, 2000, and you want to trim this down furthermore, you can always change the volume. So instead of 50, you can change it to 200 or even 500. Word count wise, you can leave this to 2 or 3, and you can even mess around with keyword difficulty. So you can change any keyword difficulty that it's ranking from way higher, so 50 and above. You can change this filter down, and you can see I'm only left with five keywords. Now, in this case, you don't want to change this to 50 or more. You want to change this from 0 to 50. Then you are targeting keywords that are easier to rank for. Right? So you can see now I've trimmed this from 399 to 394. Right? But in this case, I'm not going to mess with the keyword difficulty because I already have a list of keywords that is not that huge. Okay, so what you want to do is, after you have done the initial filtering, you want to export all of these keywords out into a Google Sheet. So over here, I want to click on export, select full export. Once you have exported the list out from your SEO tool, all you have to do now is to import it into a Google Sheet. Within this Google Sheet is where you'll do most of the filtering. So I've already selected the file, hit on the pen, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to import all the data in here. So you can see now I have a list of around 400 keywords or 399 keywords. What I'm going to do now is I am going to remove these columns here because it's not important. I'm also going to remove this column here, which is not important. So I'm left with the keyword, the volume, the keyword difficulty, and the cost per click. Okay, and this is where I'm going to show you the method that I use to do the filtering. Now, there are a few things before you need to do first. Number one, you need to decide what kind of business you are. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at here. So the main services that I am offering, chiropractic and physiotherapy, right? So you want to make sure that you know what are your main services that you're selling. That's number one. And number two, you want to know which markets you are serving in. So for example, in this case, because this is a local market, so I know that I'm going to only be serving patients or clients, in this case, in the Singapore market. And you also want to dive down into which specific location you are serving. So for example, you can see here, chiropractor in Novena. So this is a place where it's a specific location within Singapore. And this is really important because it's going to help me with the filtering process later on, which I'm going to show you. So going back to the keyword list that I have here, I just want to drag this out so I can see the total list of keywords. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on create a filter. This will allow me to filter all the keywords either by alphabet, by the volume if I want to. Okay. Now, first thing that I want to do is select A to Z here. Okay. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You don't actually want to go in and delete the keywords one by one because, now we have a list of, let's say, 400 keywords, right? For me to go in and, delete one by one, it's going to take me a lot of time. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do it. You can basically create the words here, okay? And what you want to do is you want to do what I call pattern recognition. You want to spot a similar pattern that you notice that is within your data, and you want to eliminate it by the pattern, if that makes sense. Okay, if it doesn't, I'm going to show you. Okay, so for example, now you can see here, this is a address, right? So 10 Scenarian Drive, right? This has nothing to do with the business that I'm working on. And that's why I mentioned that you need to be specific about what services your website or your brand is serving, and also which specific locations, right? So for example, in this case, this is a address. And what you don't want to do is, again, like I mentioned, you don't want to go in and basically delete, because then you're going to spend a lot of time on manual work. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just select the main primary keyword that you think will appear a lot of times. So for example, in this case, you can see Senaran. So I'm going to include this here. Okay. So Senaran, I'm going to include this in here first, because later on, I'm going to filter out for all the keywords that have the keyword Senaran in there. So you can see this is Senaran, right? So I'm going to move on. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to spot specific pattern. So the first pattern that you see here, it's a kind of like a address, right? So this is one pattern. Now the next one you can see here, these are brands, right? A-Life Clinic Private Limited, right? And sometimes if you're not sure, you can copy the keyword, open up incognito, and basically do a search. Okay, and this will show you, give you more context about what this main keyword is. But and you can see here, this is the actual brand. So this is a brand, right? So what I want to do is I want to include this brand in here, and I'm gonna just paste the brand name here, A-Life. Okay, and then you're gonna go down. So you can see here, dental. So I know that my clinic doesn't have dental services. So anything to do with dental, I'm gonna include it in here as well. Okay, and essentially what you do, right, is you basically go through this list. Okay, go through this list and select or identify the list of words that you will filter out later on. So one tip that I can give you guys is over at the view section, you want to freeze the first row. So when you're going through this list, this top header will not change. Okay, so I'm going to continue going down this list, but I'm going to give you a few examples here. Okay, the first, I'm going to give you like the most common examples of patterns that you'll be able to spot. And if you do this long enough, you're going to notice the same pattern as well. Okay, the first one will be year. Okay, so sometimes when you're doing keyword research, you will notice that there's some years involved, like 2022 or 2023. Right now, this video I'm recording in 2024. Anything to do with like anything that is not 2024, most of the time is not going to be relevant anymore. So you can go ahead and include in like 2019, 2022, 2020 or 2021, right? But the one important pattern that you want to recognize here, it's the number of years or the specific year. The second pattern will be location. Okay, so I'm going to put down here location. Now, what do I mean by location? So right now you can see the clinic currently is operating in Novena. So let's just assume that this clinic is operating only in this specific location. Now, anything that is not in this location, I'm going to have them included in a list here. So for example, let me go down and see if, let's say, there are any locations here. So you can see Punggol, right? So this area, I know that it is not within my location here. So I can just include it in here, this keyword here. And you can, you can shortlist, like you can select this, you can just include this list in here, because later on you will be able to sort by the number of words, and all this will be sorted anyway. Okay, so just include all this list, all this location in here. So I know this is also another location. So again, I'm not going to go through this entire list with you, because I'm just going to show you the common patterns that you'll be able to recognize, and you should be able to do it for your specific area, whether if it's in US, UK, Malaysia. It really works for any kind of location that you're in, right? So I can see here again, Parkway Parade. I can just shortlist as Parkway, for example. Okay, so that is the second most common pattern. The third most common pattern you want to look at is in terms of the service. So early on, I've already identified one service which I do not offer, which is dental. Now, when you're going down this list, okay, let's say, for example, your clinic or the type of service that you offer do not have X-ray, right? Let's just assume, if I go through this quickly, do they offer any kind of X-ray on-site clinic, shockwave therapy? So it doesn't seem like they offer X-ray, right? So in this case, I'm going to include in this here. So any kind of X-ray, I want to be able to filter this out later on, okay? So X-rays, let's say, for example, mattress. So this is a good one. So I know that from the looks of it, they don't seem like they are selling mattress of any sort. So again, I'm going to list down mattress here. Okay, mattress. And yeah, so you can just go through this list very, very quickly here. So you can see a bunch of location here as well. Let's see dental. So I'm certain I'm not offering dental, and you can see dermatologist. I am not offering any dermatologist at all. Okay, so that's the next common pattern that you'll be able to see, which are services, right? The next most common pattern are brands. So in this case, my brand is On-Site Health, and any kind of brands that is not On-Site Health or belonging to any kind of other clinics, I do not want to have this on my list, right? So again, I'm going to go and see, like, for example, Advanced. Okay, so Advanced Dental, I'm going to shortlist this brand because it's not going to be relevant to me. And you can see here, this is a person's name. So this is not going to be relevant to me. Okay. And you want to only select the head terms, right? You want to shortlist the words that you think will appear in most different kind of variations, right? So let's go down Asian Alliance. So I'm pretty sure this is a brand, Street Plastic Surgery. So again, this is also considered one like surgery or plastic in this case. Okay. And you just want to go down and identify all the brands that you know it's a competitor. So for example, Core Concept, this is a brand. I want to eliminate all this. All these are different doctors, which is not what I want. So Darren, David, and you basically just go through this entire list, right? So all the doctors I do not want to include in here unless it makes sense for your brand and business. Now, in this case, because I'm not sure which doctors are, within this brand, and most of the time, these are not important keywords anyway, because they will not generate quality leads if you are selecting them as your keywords. So again, go over and identify all the brands that it's not relevant to your business. Okay, and you'll be able to see a lot, right? The next common pattern will be symbols. Okay, so how you can identify symbols is just go over to your main keywords here, and you can sort this by Z to A. Usually they will show you, any kind of symbols like plus, minus, percentage, and things like that. You can also use the Control F function. So Control F, type in minus here. Okay, you can see and minus. So you can identify all this over here. Okay, and you can type in plus. So there's no plus. You can type in percentages and right. So you can see here and okay, and you can include all this in your shortlist as well. Okay, and last but not least, thing about this method is every type of keywords are different, especially if you are doing this for, let's say, the cryptocurrency niche, or let's say if it's for a pet's website, for example. The type of pattern that you will see here will be very different. But earlier on, when I showed you all these common patterns, right, you should be able to use this for any type of brands that you're working with, but you will notice some patterns that are not included in here. And you can always include this within your workflow. So next time when you're going through your keyword research, you will be able to know which pattern you should be looking out for. And that's why I've given you this list of year, location, services, brands, and symbols, because after doing a lot of keyword research, this is the most common patterns that I've identified for myself. But you should be able to do this and come up with your own patterns that you see time and time again, right? So what do you do next, right? So earlier on, when you have identified all these keywords, let's just assume that you have looked through all these keywords and you have already identified them. What you want to do is you can undo the filter here first, and you can just, name this whatever that you want. And what you do is over at the column here, just click on insert, and you want to check a tick box, okay? And then here, it's where you filter out all the keywords. So you can go filter here, and these are all the list of keywords that you have shortlisted, right? That you want to filter out. You can either copy this to a new sheet, or you can just use this here. It's fine. But now, for example, if this is the keyword that I want to eliminate, right? Go over to your initial sheet, select keyword here, and you want to clear everything out and just highlight anything to do with X-ray, okay? So make sure that you're checking this. So this will show you any keyword that have the word X-ray in them. So in this case, there's only one. So you just want to check this, right? But when you are doing the primary keyword, when you are inserting in a primary keyword, usually you'll be able to see more keywords here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to select all again. Okay. And then the next keyword I want to go through is this, right? This location. And then I basically do the same process again, clear all and type in the main keyword here. So you can see like there's a bunch of keywords that I know is not going to make sense for my clinic or my business because they are all located in a different location. So again, key in the primary keyword that you have shortlisted in your list earlier, select all, okay? Instead of like just deleting one by one, you can now check all of them. You can check one and then just basically copy and paste for the rest of the keywords here, okay? Now you want to go on to your keywords here and you can see this is another location that is not included. Again, go back up to the filter, click on clear, and now you just want to select the main keyword here, okay? And you basically go through this entire list here, okay? Let's say Parkway, okay? I'm filtering this out. I'm trying to do this a little faster. So you can see like, for example, the dental keyword that I've shortlisted here. These are all the dental keywords that are not relevant, right? So again, I can check all of this off, okay? And I'm not going to go through this entire list because you have a rough idea, right? So once you've gone through all this list that you have shortlisted here, okay, go back to your main sheet and click on remove filter. Now you want to click on create a filter again. And this time around, you just want to select all the keywords here that you have checked, okay? And what you want to do now is you want to basically select all of these keywords and delete the selected rows, okay? Click on remove filter again, and you will be left with all the keywords that you have filtered at one shot. That's how you essentially filter keywords a lot easier rather than just going and delete one by one. It's going to waste a lot of time. This will leave you with a number of keywords that firstly, it's most relevant to your business. And secondly, now you are working with a list of keywords that are the most important to your business. So if you go through all this and if you select the keywords here and make sure that you are filtering out in bulk rather than one-on-one or one by one, it's going to save you a lot of time. And once you have gone through all this list, sometimes you can just scroll through the filtered list quickly and you will still be able to see some keywords that are not relevant, right? And if you do see that, then you just want to go through the same process again, okay? Just list down all the hate keywords that would not make sense for your business. And then you just want to go through the filtering process again. So if you run this, I personally run this for one time and it's good to go. But sometimes if you find that there are still keywords that it's not relevant, then you want to run through this process again for the second time. Usually the first time will do its trick, but for some reason, if there are still more keywords here that you want to eliminate, then you can run through this process once more. And that's how I do my keyword research using this filtering process. This have helped me, look through the keywords that are most important for the business or the brand that I'm working with. So yeah, if you spot any kind of patterns within your keyword research process, please, I'm really curious to find out what other kind of common patterns that I've missed out here. So please do leave them in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't mind liking the video. It will help the channel a lot. And do remember to subscribe so you'll be notified for any upcoming videos. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as usual, chase progress, not perfection. Cheers.